Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And Dragon, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right. In honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories throughout the years. Today's episodes are Mom's in the House and Major Monogram. So that brings us to the first episode with the giant robot Perry. How do you feel about this one?
Well, I mean, my first impression is it's not a great title.
Yeah. Doesn't really have much to, and doesn't, considering she spends most of the episode out of the house.
Yeah, that's the thing. It seems like it's just a really weird. Do you have any background on how we get such a weird off focus title?
Honestly, I mean, nothing I can look at even says anything. Like maybe it's an allusion to something that I don't know, but like even the wiki points out, despite the title, Linda does not actually go in the house. So yeah, even the wiki stumped on this one.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just looking for a title that fits with something, but I don't know.
I mean, look, there's a lot of clever and fun stuff in this episode, but again, I aside from the title, I'm a little. I got a few like quibbles, but I mean, overall, it's a fun episode. There's nothing wrong with it. Aside from again, stuff like the title. But it's.
I mean, and last week I specifically mentioned that part of the episode was inspired by Gigantor.
Yep.
Like which I showed you afterwards, and you understood what I meant after that point.
Yeah, no, yeah, and afterwards, yeah.
And now that you see the episode, you get what I'm going at. Like yeah. even the theme song in the episode is pretty much based on Gigantor.
Oh yeah, that I got, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait for this Kogiasman. After a long wait, we'll finally learn what Dragon thinks of Major Monogram's son. Well,
in due time, Code Geass, in due time.
In due time, yes. Next episode, like second half of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get to it. So in this episode, Perry's missing for quite a bit of time, missing earlier than normal.
Yeah, I mean, for the whole "Where's Perry" gag, we're still without a Perry.
Yeah, it's like not even there for him to wonder where he is.
Yeah,
like they want to take him on a walk, which they walk their platypus, which is nice.
Yep.
So Phineas wonders we should build a Perry when we're Perryless, which brings to mind they could have just created one of their own toys, used one of the toys that they made from Toy to the World. Perry the in-action figure. But again, as we've discussed multiple times on this channel recently, Dragon, giant robots.
Chicks dig them.
Chicks dig them indeed. We all do.
Nice
indeed. Yep. So as we pointed out, yeah, they go with the giant robot option.
Yep.
So, but where is that darn platypus?
He's circling Doof Plaza, as it were, aka Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
We need to include that a lot more.
Yeah,
we kind of skimped on it recently.
Well, he's been going mobile lately.
Well, that is a fair point. But apparently, Perry's circling the building with bat wings, with Monogram hoping
very Looney Tune-esque bat wings, by the way.
Yep. And with apparently it's in response to lower response times.
Which again means that he's going to be away from his family more. So again, Monogram kind of a jerk in this episode, a little bit in the second one, but in this episode particularly, it's keeping this poor, loyal, dedicated platypus away from his family. Just how heartless are you, mustache, huh?
Yeah, he does make some questionable choices here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but all the cheap, lousy ways to save a buck.
Especially considering it's Doofenshmirtz we're talking about here.
I'll take a rubber hose and anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
But didn't even do much good because Doof knew he was there the whole time.
Yep, just looking at him, it's like such a waste of resources.
It's like, what is he doing up there? It's like,
Yeah.
but it gave me enough time to do my scheme.
So he ends up caged.
Yeah, it's like he ends up kind of apropos considering his wings.
Oh yeah.
It's like, so his latest creation is to basically the Duplicator-inator 2.
I love the two.
Yep. And he basically is operating under the assumption like two heads are better than one. So if he duplicates his own head, he'll be twice as smart.
Well, yes and no.
The problem though is that the head is not attached.
It's a smart aleck of a head, so it is smarter,
Yes,
but
it
it's
seems
also a head.
yeah.
I had
Only
I had such head pull thoughts during this because again, it's a very similar dynamic where head pull until he got the propeller beanie was exactly like this. He was just this snarky, disembodied head that you would wisecrack and kind of backtalk, and he had to be carried around and everything, just like this.
like when did Headpool originate in the comics?
Well, to get the exact year, I think it was 2011. Victor Gischler was. This was the era of Deadpool, right after. Well, I guess technically it was concurrent because you had Daniel Way doing Deadpool. That was very much the resurgence. This was around the time of X-Men Origins Wolverine. So basically, Deadpool was really back in vogue, and this was kind of during my foray into the character. Where
Even
you had
if it was X-Men Origins Deadpool.
well, that's the thing. Again, most of this was like they had Hulk versus kind of which brought me onto the character, and then they have like basically that was done to publicize the movie, and basically during this time you had Daniel Way taking on the book, so Deadpool was like, hey, we got a new Wolverine movie coming out. So Wolverine comics are selling like crazy. Also, people like Deadpool. We're bringing back the Deadpool, the Wolverine adjacent character that is Deadpool. And hey, look, Daniel Way's kind of putting them in wacky situations. We had some really good art on the book. Anyway, so Deadpool was kind of gaining popularity. He got a spin-off, which was kind of big for him at the time. And it was, well, eventually it would turn into Deadpool Core, but essentially it started off as, I believe, they called it Deadpool Merc with the Mouth. Sorry, Merc with the Mouth, which basically was, like a mini series. I think maybe like 12 issues or something. And basically Deadpool was... he was on a mission and he encountered I want to say, God, I'm trying to recall if it was in the same story or not, but I believe in Merc with the Mouth, or a story that preceded Merc with the Mouth, you had Headpool, who was basically like the zombie version of Deadpool, who got his head chopped off, but he was stuck in the 616 continuity. So basically, Deadpool was kind of like stuck with him and carrying him around like a football. Yeah.
Kind of sounds like Lollipop Chainsaw in a way.
Yeah, no, it's very, very Lollipop Chainsaw esque. Only less eye candy. Like it's
Yeah.
there's no Michael Rosenbaum, but there are similarities.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So actually, there was eye candy in that book because you had Dr. Betty.
Huh. But not with the. But Deadpool carrying around a head is not the same as Juliet Starling carrying around a head.
No, but here's the thing, though. The head lusted after the eye candy. The head lusted after Dr. Betty.
Oh, so there is that. The reason I'm asking because this episode came out in 2012, which is just shortly after Headpool.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure that's like that's the thing. Headpool's. I'm pretty sure it was 2011. What I can't recall is if Headpool was introduced in that story or in like the crossover story that then landed with Deadpool, kind of stuck with Headpool. That's what I'm having trouble because I want to say we introduced the Deadpool core after Merc with a Mouth. I think that's what happened. I'm struggling to remember how exactly Headpool was introduced because he might have been he was like an interdimensional thing, which I think is how we got him. So anyway, point being, Headpool shortly followed by the Deadpool core officially. So
all right, I was just curious since you brought it up and considering if they're like just. It's kind of around the same time, actually. So disembodied heads were all the rage in that time, I guess.
Speaking of which, you want a fun fact about the Deadpool core / Headpool?
What?
In the big, kind of introduction of the Deadpool Corps, you had Deadpool meeting, Lady Deadpool, and in her reality, you had Captain America. I think it was in the Liefeld style too. I could be wrong. It's kind of like a nod to how Liefeld used to draw Captain America.
No, no.
Well, mind it was a lot better. I'm just saying it was the fact that Liefeld was drawing Captain America again. It was just kind of like much
not
better.
not like protruding chest Captain.
Yeah, that's
America.
what I'm saying. But it's the fact that he was doing this kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. Oh, look, Liefeld's drawing Captain America again.
It's like he was aware of the reception to his artwork.
I would like to think he was self-aware enough on that. A lot of people can't tell how self-aware Liefeld is. At least he's taking it with good humor with all the feet jokes.
Like he's willing to take some pot shots at himself.
Of course. I mean, there's that whole sequence in Deadpool too. Anyway,
which I also got a reference to him in Wolverine, in the Deadpool Wolverine. It's like Liefeld's only feet.
God, it was a good joke. Anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, my long-winded explanation here is that there was a scene where basically Headpool helped lay Deadpool out because Captain America was going after her. Basically, the head bit Captain America's arm, which basically was being infected with the zombie, the zombie virus. So I think it was Lady Deadpool or regular Deadpool was there, and they basically cut Captain America's arm off.
Oh no!
Like Bucky.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting to say the least. All right, back to the episode at hand.
There's also a very questionable kiss that happened during that, but we're just going to move on from there.
I'll have to ask context later.
Yep.
All right. So the boys are at work building the Patronic, where Candace...
Okay, hold on. We got to talk about the Patronic.
Yeah?
Okay, I don't like this name.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I forget, like, not just with the name, but didn't they say, like, an animatronic version of Perry? Didn't they label it as that?
Kind of, I guess.
I'm pretty sure they did. And it's like, because I think they said a giant animatronic platypus or a giant animatronic Perry. Which is not accurate at all. That's not an animatronic.
Robot animatronic, I guess, yeah.
Like, animatronic is like made to, okay, it's kind of, an animatronic would have been like an actual scale version of Perry that just, would have been, robotic and probably moved the same, and that's about it.
That's why it's the Patronic 3000.
Still, yes, I know, but I'm just saying this thing is not, it's a vehicle, man. It's a glorified vehicle.
It's a giant robot.
Well, yeah, look, mech aside, even if it doesn't have a cool car for a head, the point being, mech aside, you see what I'm getting at here, okay? Like, we have, like, Disneyland animatronic or like radio control animatronic. There's any variety of animatronic, okay? Versus awesome mech. This is an awesome mech, but not an animatronic.
So it's basically just a matter of semantics to you.
Exactly, my friend. Precisely.
All right, then.
Okay.
All
like
right,
I said, quibbles. Nothing against the episode, just quibbles.
That makes sense, then.
All right.
But speaking of which, as I said, while they're building their giant mech...
Yep,
Perry
they just
mech.
took that one line out,
Well, basically, Patronic 3000 sounds better than Perry Mech 3000.
It does. I don't disagree with you. But I'm saying is having the whole, it's an animatronic version of Perry. Like, no, it's not, Phineas.
I know, but sometimes you gotta go with what sounds cooler.
Yeah.
When Candace has developed a new strategy to busting their brothers. Keep them busy.
This is a really good idea.
Which she never uses again.
Yeah, I just love the stall plan on Candace. Such a good idea.
I mean, it is. I mean, it technically is kind of a good idea. Like
keep
building.
Stacy, by the way, it's the moment of Stacy. It's the moment of Kelly Who appreciation.
There we go.
Jacob, it was a good moment in the Phineas and Ferb season here when we kind of had a moment of just the wonderful Kelly Who just breezing through the episode and just piecing out. But she was there, darn it, she was there, and she had things to contribute.
Yes, she did.
All right,
there we go.
All right.
I'd like to meet Kelly Who one of these days.
Wait, who?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
But seriously, I hope she goes to like one of the conventions one of these days.
let's give her a Disney Legend Award while we're at it.
Has she done anything outside of Disney besides this? I mean, not counting like the acquisition of the X-Men movies.
By the way, just in case anyone's curious, I only I told you about this. Yeah, not her in the movie.
What is it?
She's not in Deadpool 3.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I know. Here's the thing. It was like it really bummed me out too when I was watching because there's like 3 characters they couldn't get the originals for in that movie. Well, technically 4, but you know what I mean. Like there's a select number of people they couldn't get from the originals.
And was she one of them?
Yes, Jacob. Yes, she was. She was one of the ones that they couldn't get.
I wonder why.
Well, I think it was like I don't know if it was it was the main reason James was like a budget thing. That's why it's the main reason they couldn't get like everyone they wanted because you know they did have to adhere to some budget, especially given one certain cameo that they had in the movie, which we acknowledged was probably pricey.
So he was eating up the budget.
Yep. So you know that was acknowledged,
or
but,
or in this case, burning up the budget.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised they didn't make that joke. There we go.
Anyway, so there were it's usually the reason they get the original person is like kind of a threefold thing: it's budget. In some cases, age, but I don't think they haven't really said it. I don't know if that was a discriminating factor against Kelly Who or not. But also the third one was probably like an interest thing too. Like a lot of them was some people wanted to be there, but they weren't called. There was budget, there was time, there was a lot of these kind of factors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Russian, for example, from The Punisher, he's in the movie, but not the same actor, and it shows. Here's the thing that baffles me. If you're going to have a guy look like the Russian, why give him the beard? Because it's going to make it even harder to tell that's who that is.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense ultimately, and it is kind of a shame that they either didn't or couldn't get Kelly Who for this.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I think the other factor is that she didn't really have any speaking parts in it, so yeah, a waste of who.
And I guess like wasn't much room in the script for Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah, unfortunately, but hey, X-Men season 2, we are getting Deathstrike, and it's not going to be. I mean, I'll be amazed if they got Kelly Who. They probably won't because she wasn't in the original animated show, but you know.
Well, who knows? Well, who knows?
Yeah, there you go. There's a hashtag for you kids. Hashtag who knows.
Yes.
She could appear in anything. Who knows?
Who knows?
Only Kelly.
I mean, that could be your talk show.
Who knows? Only Kelly.
Yes.
We ain't talking Jean.
No, because he's
or to put in X-Men terms, we're not talking Jean.
Especially not Gene Kelly because he's dead.
Just imagine this though, man. When Gene Kelly passed away, Wolverine sitting in bed, just holding this lovely picture of Gene Kelly up. It's just well, again, yeah, Wolverine, depending on your variant, does have a musical theater background, you know. So
who knows?
There you go. Aquatad gets it.
Yep, that's exactly what we were going for.
Yes. Okay. Anyway.
All right. So they explained in the song, which I mentioned earlier, is inspired by Gigantor. Even has like the little sepia television bars on it.
I know. I love the sepia.
Yep, and a lot of this like it can transform to anything as long as it's big and metal. Like it's like it can't transform to anything smaller than what it is.
Nope.
But even one of the shapes is a giant floating baby head.
They really have like a sickness with this giant floating baby head.
Well, they just think it's funny.
Yeah.
And they're not entirely.
They think decapitated babies are funny, apparently. So there you go.
I mean, it's not a decapitated baby. It's just a magical floating baby head.
Well, Jabe, do you know it didn't have a body?
What didn't have a body?
The baby.
Well, there you go. That's basically what I just said. Like, wait, you're just rewording what I said in a different way.
You take the basement, I'll take the outside. No. I'll take the outside, you take the basement.
Okay. All right.
Anyway.
So back at Doof, like Doof realizes that having two heads didn't necessarily make him smarter.
Nope.
But what they decided to do instead is just have fun with duplicating things.
Again, very stupidly, this is going to duplicate the arm that's going to be sentient and just can free Perry and fight him and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Then there's a whole bunch of doof heads.
Like 8 of them to be specific.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think so, yeah. That's like, and even like some really weird metaphysical stuff. It's like, does anyone anyone else feeling phantom pains? Because I have a real one in my elbow right now. Which raises some questions, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like, since they were duplicates of Doof, why are they, and they're just a duplicate of his head, why are they feeling the phantom pains?
Well, well, Jacob, I mean, you want to talk about like the logic here. Again, they're all thinking of the one Doofenshmirtz's body, so they're feeling everything that one's feeling. It's like it's a unimind.
Even if they have their own individual sentiments and feelings and all that.
Well, it's all connected to the like Doof Prime.
Yeah. But still, it's still kind of weird in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Gene Kelly, I saw a clip from a game show, and the question that came up with something to do with Gene Kelly. None of the contestants knew who Gene Kelly was.
Okay, that's a war crime as far as I'm concerned.
It's like, I've never seen any of his movies, but I know who he is.
Exactly. There's my point right there. Even if you have never seen a Gene Kelly movie, you should know who Gene Kelly is.
I mean, he
did.
did.
Worst case, everyone's at least seen, even like the modern generation. I mean, Family Guy, yeah, the Rupert episode,
Dancing with Jerry,
yeah.
Which was obviously reanimated with Stewie.
You know what's weird about that? I Jacob, no joke, because of honestly, there's no real good reason for it. But it was just in general. I was talking about that very scene today. No joke. This Family Guy came up and it brought up the Gene Kelly thing. Well, if you want the whole boring story, I'll sit back and I'll tell you. Well, you see, someone's going to a concert today, and Paul Abdul's going to be there, and I brought the whole Scat Cat thing. He said, what's again pre-Scat Cat? We have Gene Kelly dancing with Jerry Mouse. Here, let me show you. So that's essentially how that came about. But yeah, it was when talking about that, it was like we were then talking about the Family Guy moment. Oddly, the Family Guy moment kind of fits better, in a weird way, because if you look at the two scenes, because the Jerry Mouse scene goes on forever, and it's a little more out of left field, but they clip the Stewie dancing with Gene Kelly in such a way where he's flung from his leg off screen, which kind of plays even better than like we just kind of keep going and going and going with him dancing with Jerry Mouse, which is impressive, but it goes on a long time.
Yeah, and
plus, here's the main reason. Sorry, I skipped over the main reason why it's better.
Yeah.
Jerry shouldn't talk. That's the main reason.
There you go.
Stewie talking to Gene Kelly fits like a glove. At least OG Stewie talking to Gene Kelly fits like a glove.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, sorry. What were we talking about again?
We were talking about this. We were talking about Gene Kelly. Then Little Blue brought this up.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Kelly was the last star of the Muppet Show, and then it's considered the last episode.
Yep, I mean that episode is intended to be the last episode of the Muppet Show. Don't let Disney Plus fool you, kids. It's supposed to be the last episode of the Muppet Show, and is a very fitting send-off. They have one of the biggest song and dance men of all time, debatably the best dancer who ever lived, debatably.
Yep, and the funny thing about the Stewie episode, that was another Dan. That was a Dan episode too.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that was his last Road to episode, but
we know for a fact that was a Dan episode. You know how? It's a Povenmire within a Povenmire. You have a Family Guy episode within the Family Guy episode.
Yeah.
You have a SpongeBob episode.
Yeah.
That was also directed by Povenmire.
The campfire song.
Yep.
Like he's referencing a lot of his work.
Yep, this episode had 2 musical numbers in it.
He's really been all over the place, hasn't he?
That Pavemeyer gets around.
Yep. Worked for basically every almost a lot of these major channels except for Cartoon Network, funnily enough.
Yep.
Anyway, it's all connected somehow, according to Aquatad. And darn right.
All right.
It's like, so yeah, if the Phantom, we're talking about like the Phantom pains and everything. And the Doof and basically the Doof heads fighting Perry's disembodied limbs. Or
we find out
duplicated limbs, I should say.
Then we find out they all have like because basically he's the retrofit a microwave into the Senator. They all have like a time limit
of 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, admittedly it's a little BS. But I call BS on the timer because the last head lasts a lot longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it does. I'm not gonna deny you on that one.
Huh?
It's like, but it's funny nonetheless.
Okay, admittedly the whole tail flip thing too is a bit much too, where he duplicated a giant, the Patronic 3000, and they kind of flip each other to kind of like tumbleweeding away.
Yeah. It is kind of a stretch, but it works, I guess. It can.
I mean, it's a big stretch, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just kind of just sends them away to be someone else's problem.
Yep. And then we had Jacob.
Yeah.
You didn't talk about the great food gag we had this episode with Linda.
Well, Linda was planning on like making like spaghetti and meatballs.
Yes and no.
Well, okay, then what do you mean?
Well, no. I mean, like, yeah, she's planning on making spaghetti and meatballs, but the way in which she tries making spaghetti and meatballs, that's what we should talk about.
Spaghetti in the shape of a meatball.
Yeah. So still, again, the less choice in food, more choice in the shape of the food.
I mean, that could be done.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Babish could probably pull that off.
Oh God, yes, he could. Babish or those the people, the man versus food. I'm trying to remember if it's man. No, Man versus Food is the Travel Channel show. The People versus Food show I kept showing you. Did you ever watch that Phineas and Ferb episode?
No, I still need to do that.
Bad, Jacob. Bad.
I know.
Anyway.
Like, did you see the speaking of which, I sent you the video about him going to Comic-Con. Dan going to Comic-Con. Did you watch that?
Wait, wasn't that D23 or was that Comic-Con?
D23, yes, technically.
No, I didn't watch it.
We're like specifically on the Aurora the Platypus one.
No, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, well, it's basic. Well, if we're going to talk about like tangents here, he basically, I think he might have actually been at the Comic-Con for all I know. Maybe it was.
I mean, did you time it specifically? Like you mentioned, you wanted to talk about it for D23, so I assumed it was for D23, but it could have been Comic-Con. Like, did you?
I mean, I'm guessing it was D23, considering it was around the same time. But either way, what happened was Dan was like on his way. He saw somebody in an Aurora costume, but as Perry the Platypus, like Perry the Platypus disguised as Lieutenant Aurora from Star Trek.
What do you mean, Uhura?
Yeah, Uhura.
Okay, because you keep saying like Aurora, like the Sleeping Beauty character.
All right, Uhura.
There you go.
As from Star Trek.
Yeah.
And basically, he's like, oh, is that Aurora? It's like, yeah, it's like, and she basically explains to Dan, who doesn't know who Dan is, or doesn't recognize. It's like there's a show called Phineas and Ferb. Like he's a character that's a platypus. And that's where his disguise is. He's like, have you heard of it? He's like, Dan's like, yeah, I've heard of it.
God, that's funny.
And then he's like, can I take a picture? Sure. And then he explains to her who he actually is. So you could say he's definitely a fan of the show. He's had a couple of those experiences too. Like one during the actual original run of the show, where like he was at Disneyland and he saw a kid with a Perry the Platypus plushie. A kid in there, and the kid was with his or her dad, and Dad was like, Perry the Platypus, in the Doofenshmirtz voice. And the dad was like, yeah, you're really good at that.
Yeah. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. Well, Tim Allen especially has had moments like that with Buzz Lightyear. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Like the kids freak out when he does the Buzz Lightyear voice because they think like usually they're really young kids and they think, "Oh God, what these? He ate Buzz Lightyear. What did he do?"
Yep. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Messing with children is fun. Is basically the moral of that story.
Yep.
Just kidding. It doesn't. Just kidding. But either way, so speaking of which, Linda at the end of the episode, instead of doing like ice cream sandwiches, is sandwiches cut in the shape, like ice cream cut in the shape of sandwiches.
The only way I'm going to be on board for that is if the bread of the sandwich is still like the chocolate, kind of graham crackery thing.
I would hope so.
As I'm saying, otherwise it's like oh my God, just ice cream in the shape of a sandwich. Come on, man. It's got to be,
Which is probably why Ferb's just like, just pie for me, please.
Yeah.
Even Ferb didn't really want to try it.
No, he didn't. All right.
So I guess that does it for that episode.
Yep.
And speaking of Dan-directed episodes, we move on to the final episode he directed for the series.
Wait, for the whole series?
Yep, this is technically the last episode he directed.
Was he too good to direct the rest of the show?
No, but I don't really know why he didn't direct anymore. I mean, technically he did direct the Family Christmas episode, but technically that and this are the only episodes he directed this season, and the last one he directed overall for this show. Like I said, I don't know why. Maybe it's because maybe he was too busy working on the rest of the show. Maybe he just wanted to focus more on the writing and other aspects of the show. Like I said, it's never really been explained why.
Okay.
I mean, outside of like being a supervising director, also for Candace Against the Universe, he didn't direct. I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
This is technically the last episode of the series he ever directed.
Okay.
Like I said, of the original run anyway, because obviously I don't know the production information about a show about the revival that hasn't come out yet.
I would really hope he would direct at least one episode of the revival.
I mean, I'm hoping so too. Like it seems like in the next two shows he created, he directed at least the first episode. So I'm wondering if that's kind of what he's gonna do with the revival. So I don't know. But again, we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, D23 didn't give us any additional information that was unveiled to the public, or at least not online or anything, nor were we given a release date for it. Because I definitely would have talked about it during the live stream we just did a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So, enough of the background at that point, because that's basically all the background I have at this point. So, what are your thoughts on Major Monogram?
This was a pretty good episode. This is pretty cool. However, one caveat, and I meant to ask you about this before we went on, because I know you're not going to have this background detail. You're not going to have it. I think we might have used. Wait a minute, actually, Jay, real quick. Remind me, did Pavenmeyer direct Across the Second Dimension?
Yes.
He did?
Yes, he technically did direct Across the Second Dimension.
Okay, that explains it then. Yeah, I noticed there's something that this episode has Across the Second Dimension, and I'm wondering if maybe Pavenmeyer's the commonality. I'm not saying it's totally a bad thing, but it's definitely something that stands out more than the rest of the series. We over-animated it in places. Specifically with Doofenshmirtz. We over-animated the Doofenshmirtz stuff in a few places.
I mean, that's entirely possible that it was like kind of the result of what he was doing.
Yeah. So again, not a negative. It was something that kind of like jumps at me. It's like something. It's like it's incongruous, where it's like, wow, that feels a little off. I mean, it's kind of like it might be kind of cool, but it's like really off from what we're used to.
You mean like more expressive and fluid than the rest?
It's like it's like fluid, but it's like more frames, I guess is the way to put it, because we have like when Doofenshmirtz and was it Rodrigo or
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. When he, the express. Honestly, a lot of the way Rodriguez animated the whole episode, but particularly when he's like starts the monologue and everything, we have the Doofenshmirtz like reacting incredulously. The whole world, he's getting a little, he's like extra, a lot of extra frames, a lot of dramatic posing. It's a lot like that lava scene in Across the Second Dimension. That's where all the overacting is in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I always attributed the extra animation in the movie, to the fact that it was a movie and had its own budget.
Yeah.
I mean, most likely had its own budget, but
well, I suspect that is the main reason they were trying something. I don't know if maybe like they have like a little spillage here. I don't know.
It's like we'll get to this. It's like we'll get to this, and I think it's interesting that how both the cartoons dragons have been reviewing for the past, both Batman Beyond and Phineas and Ferb both have Seth Green's voice.
That is true.
Like, we'll get to that. Like, but who does
Seth? Plays a lot nicer guy here though.
Who does Seth Green voice in Batman Beyond?
Nelson Nash, the parody of Flash Thompson.
Huh. All right. And that was before that was like around the same time Family Guy's beginning and before he was really famous too.
Oh, no, for sure, yeah.
So that's. And speaking of like other voices, actor Jorge Garcia voiced Rodrigo.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he's best known for Hugo Reyes in Lost.
Yeah.
So there's that. So basically, how about we get into the episode, shall we?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the boys are realizing that summer's going by very fast and that fall will soon begin.
So they want to do a sequel to Swinter, which in this case is Fall.
Yes. Which I think is a pretty interesting idea. Like instead of like Bridge actually, creating and almost breaking the laws of weather in the process, they just, create a bunch of leaves.
I still love the way Scary Godmother did it.
Did what?
Well, Scary Godmother did the they have this gag where Harry the werewolf, he's doing chores for her to get ready for Halloween and everything, so like they have to bake their own leaves. It's really cute. Just the idea, she puts them like in this giant oven, this giant almost like kind of like Mary Poppins bag effect, and this infinite kind of like tray of fall leaves, crisp fall leaves.
I haven't seen Scary Godmother in years.
This is the second one. This is in Revenge of Jimmy.
I think I might have seen that one, but I only remember like the first one, like the Halloween Spooktacular one.
Yeah, I love Scary Godmother. And also, I was lucky enough I actually met the creator of Scary Godmother.
You mean the author?
Yeah, Jill Thompson.
Oh, nice.
The creator and an artist, and the whole shebang. And ran point on the adaptation. She was there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I got her some of my copies of it too.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, and then the couple comics I had, I lucked into a few like Scary Godmother comics. I signed that. I was so tempted, Jacob, to buy. She was selling like things she made on her own, probably like a Kickstarter or something. She has like a Scary Godmother doll and and like a Bugaboo plush like bag kind of thing, and they're really cool. But it's like one of those things where it's like I'm more tempted for just the rarity of it than I am it's like I would like this, but I don't want to it was a little pricey because it was a custom job.
Huh.
But it's like I like it. It's really well designed, but I don't
Do you regret not getting it?
Because I know I wouldn't need it. I would have gotten it because my grandmother loves the Scary Godmother thing too. But I know she's at that stage where it's like, I want to get her nice things, but she's like, "Nah, I don't have anywhere to put these things." I'm running out of room. It's like a thing. I would love to have gotten it for her, but it's like she won't. I don't think she would have.
I mean, I can kind of relate to like going to these kind of conventions and getting stuff for your family.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my mom an autograph from Peter Cullen. Got him to sign a glossy of Eeyore.
Yeah, like I did one of those too. Once I got my grandmother some stuff. She loves Star Trek: The Next Generation. I got her an autographed picture from Will Wheaton.
Ooh, is she a big Data fan?
No. Will Wheaton's like Wesley Crusher.
Oh, Wesley Crusher, right?
I mean, look, she likes the show. I mean, she
I
loves
mean,
Picard. She already has like a signed thing of Picard. She didn't meet him in person, but she has like a signed limited edition kind of like job from Picard, and has like all these plaques and stuff. You know,
you
she's
can you can tell how good my memory of the Next Generation is.
yeah. I'm picking up on that. So Jay Worf's the guy with the head,
I
and
know who Worf is.
okay, Whoopi Goldberg was the bartender,
Like I
and
said,
Q wore the funny hat.
I know, but I got Data and Wesley Crusher mixed up.
But yeah, that's who.
Like now, who plays Picard?
Okay, Picard is the Englishman with in the red shirt, but he's not a goner.
Is he the guy with is he the guy that has all the hair?
Yeah, like all the hair, Jacob. Yeah.
Like he has the permanent hair, and he has the like the curly mustache and all that.
Well, of course. I mean, duh, Jacob. I mean, why do I have to spill everything out for you? I mean, can't you form your own assertions?
Who plays Picard? Well, she really got into that role, didn't she?
Well, you know, absolutely, Kelly Who could absolutely. Yeah, okay. It's funny you mention that. I'm not kidding. Kelly Who is on the Orville.
Oh, nice.
And she plays, and she basically is wearing a Picard outfit. You know, it's a different color, but you know, she's like a high-ranking officer. She's like a fleet admiral or something. She's like you know, she's like one of the bosses on the Orville.
It's like, all right, we have a few comments and before that. Like, I assume spring is coming in the revival. Who knows? Maybe we will see spring. Are you going to do Next Generation streams? Probably not.
No.
I mean, if there's a demand for it, maybe, but it's not in the current pipeline.
Yeah.
And if it is, it'd be like way down in the pipeline. So yeah, the boys set out to make fall, which is basically just a bunch of leaves, a big leaf pile.
Yep.
Which is still pretty funny. I mean, even people our age like to play in the leaves, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't really find I don't really jump in them, but yeah.
There's nothing wrong.
I like kicking the leaves, you know, it's something.
Sir Patrick Stewart is Picard. Yes, I know, Little Blue. It was just a bit. He also plays Bullock in American Dad.
Avery Bullock, yes.
Yes. The British director of the CIA. No, nobody questions that he's British.
Yep. Again, just an excuse to have Patrick Stewart say just horribly hysterical and stupid things.
And he's all for it too.
Oh, God, yeah.
He's a huge fan of like dirty humor and all that.
God, I mean, literally, you had. I don't even remember this one of the earliest like Bullock, Avery Bullock episodes. It was the one where he was sleeping with Stan's daughter.
I remember when he got with Haley.
Yeah, they had like there's this. It's in bad taste in the most hilarious of ways. You had Patrick Stewart as this character. Mind you, Avery Bullock is literally modeled after him. He looks exactly like Patrick Stewart, which is the gag. And he's in like in the morning after he's like wearing like a little, you know, like wearing Haley's robe. So you know, it's a little to the imagination. It's like it's like you know. Francine's like telling Stan, okay, Stan, you gotta set him straight. You gotta stand up to your boss, and the whole thing's about stand up to your boss, kind of a story. So it's like he's about to, you know, it's like, oh, Francine, it's just like a fling or something. And you have like him getting food from the fridge, wearing this short little robe, singing "I like little girls." Da, 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 da. It's like, oh my god. It's so wrong.
It is wrong. Yeah, we should
He's
probably
about like throwing a knife at him. It's like, Smith, what? We should talk about your promotion. He misses him. Like, okay.
So we should probably move on.
Yes, we should.
we could reminisce about early American Dad all day.
Yes, back in the day when the world was McFarlane.
And let's say again, like early Family Guy, early American Dad was amazing.
Oh, it was such a good time.
Even some later American Dad was funny. Like, was good. Like
back in the day when the Family Guy writers' room had the Hershey cookie and cream candy bars.
Anyway, so
I'm not joking. That's a real thing. Okay, anyway,
I don't
go on.
doubt. It's like so, yeah. So it's like we meet it back in Perry's lair. We have Major Monogram. He's like you're like the son I never had. It's like, really, sir? It's like yes, because you're so unlike the son I did have.
Yeah, this is great. Just like a fun, putting Carl to the side there to introduce just Monty Monogram.
Oh yeah, voiced by Seth Green.
Yeah, I was surprised. I remember you hyped up that at some point we would see Seth Green. It was like, oh my god, he's playing Monty.
It's like, yep, and then when I pointed out, and last week I did point out, we meet a new member of the Monogram family.
Mm-hmm. No, I knew he was coming. I didn't know he was going to be voiced by Seth Green of all people. I mean, I knew Green was coming, but I didn't know he was going to play him.
Yeah, I didn't want to spoil that.
No, it was a good surprise. It was like, and of course, this being, I'm fairly certain, probably a nod to Scott Evil from Austin Powers.
Well, on the goods, well, yeah, kind of.
Well, that's what it's flipped. That's the gag. It's like, okay, so we have he wants to be. It's the opposite of Scott Evil, in which he's very friendly. He doesn't want he wants to be involved in the family business, but not evil.
Yeah.
So it's again, there's such charm. It's so interesting because we have Robot Chicken, which Seth Green plays every role under the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, Seth MacFarlane. Kind of like what he had done on Family Guy, along with a number of other talented voice actors, just voicing multiple characters for gags and such. So we have that.
Did Seth ever guest star in Robot Chicken?
Well, yeah, all the time, yeah.
Oh, nice. So,
because but beyond that, he's popped up a couple times.
Because I speaking of Back to the Road 2 episodes, an episode that didn't direct, Road to the Multiverse was a Robot Chicken parody. It's like how's it like being on a major network? Fuck you.
Yep.
It's like, bye.
A lot of animosity between Family Guy and Robot Chicken, especially in regards to Star Wars, which is even better.
But obviously it's clear that there's no bad blood between Seth and both Seths.
Yep.
I was gonna say Seth and wait, they're both named Seth.
Yeah.
Either way. But, but between Green and MacFarlane, there's really no bad will between them, it looks like.
Yep. They're cool.
They're cool. So yeah, we get to meet Monty, and we learn that basically Monogram was kind of in a weird roundabout way, living vicariously through because I never got to be an acrobat, and that's why you are.
I love that Monogram is trying to be a good father here, and he's so close to the moral. He's just so darn close, but he's not getting it. He's the fact that my father discouraged me from my passion of being an acrobat, and I don't want to do that for you. Or he basically sounds like he's being really supportive, but then he says, "No, I want to follow in your footsteps," which is that's like every father wants here. I want to follow in your footsteps.
He's like, what? He's like, what? It's like, you want to? What about all this money we spent on acrobat lessons?
I laughed so hard when he said that.
I do enjoy this episode too. It's one of them.
And then Carl just says, "What if I did the acrobat thing, sir?"
Carl's such a suck up.
Yes, it makes you want to. Doesn't make you exclaim,
"Dang it, Carl!
Dang it, Carl! You ruined this father-son moment, Carl. You ruined it.
Ruined it. He soiled it.
Soiled it.
Soiled it.
See, it's so funny that all those moments are going to be turned into Funko Pops now.
Oh God! Is Soiled It actually going to be a Funko Pop?
Well, no. Well, they haven't, not yet, but that's what I'm saying. Is they're doing all sorts of deep cut SpongeBob, the whole Krusty Krab pizza. Well, maybe in a deep cut, but they're doing the wackier SpongeBob stuff now.
The Krusty Krab pizza.
Yeah, they do. They have a Funko Pop for that. We have Doodle Bob, and we have
Mahoy Manoy.
Yep, we have that, and we have Imagination, and there are others too, but those are.
Are they going to do them for other characters or just SpongeBob?
No, I mean they have other characters. I'm saying SpongeBob was I'm saying in particular.
Because all that did remind me was Finland.
Little.
I hope they do that one.
Well, that one you'd have to do the set. That's the thing. You'd have Patrick going Lee, and the SpongeBob and the Flying Dutchman on there.
Yep. Oh, that's a great episode.
God, it is. Yes,
And
it
he
is.
even gave us the perfume department. Okay, we need to get back to shaming Carl.
All right, bad Carl. Okay, let's see. What's
Speaking of Carl, I got my hands on a plush of Carl the Robot. Oh, nice.
that is amazing, little blue.
I didn't know they made those.
But I think that's a rarity because no one ever gives Meet the Robinsons any due. So the fact that I had plush,
Maybe
that's
it's
incredible.
Could be homemade or could be a new Disney thing. For all we know, we don't know.
No, there's no way it's a new Disney thing, Jacob. Come on.
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe they're like, hey, check out this obscure merchandise.
Jacob, they had a movie that was a cash in just for the fact of like they're out of ideas with Wish, and in the credits of that movie, they're paying tribute to all the God knows how many movies they've done. You have, I know it's an exact number, I'm struggling to remember what it is, because every time I looked at the number I remembered it, it's like, then we keep getting more Disney movies, so don't quote me on the number. The point being, after 100 years of Disney, what's one of the few movies that we left off that list? Meet the Robinsons, not there.
Which is a shame, really.
That's what I'm saying.
I confirm it comes from the Disney store and I got it on eBay. There you go.
Not recently, though.
All right, like I said, I didn't say it was definite. I just said it was possible.
Yeah. I miss the Disney store so much.
I do too. There used to be one near where I live, and it went away.
Yeah, there was one in the mall.
Yeah, me too. So Dragon, what do we do with Carl here?
Well, let's see. Who's a Carl that would respect this tender father-son discussion?
I don't know about maybe Carl. I don't think Carl Fredrickson would because he didn't have any children.
I don't know. He respects.
He probably would. Yeah, and I didn't mean to bring the mood down with that one. Let's see.
It's like, oh yeah, Carl, he couldn't have children. We had a whole sad moment in the first 10 minutes of up to reaffirm that, Jacob. Thanks for reminding us of infertility. Thanks.
Oh, gee, sorry, Dragon.
Bumming us all out.
Like I said, but it took him a whole movie to learn to respect children.
That is true.
Well, then again, he did work at the zoo and was fine with kids, so I guess there's that.
No, he sold balloons, so you know.
Yeah. So again, I was off base on that one. Maybe Carl Aquatat points out Weezer.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Carl would probably botch things up here.
What about Beaumont?
He'd respect it. I think he'd give him some space.
All right, I think we got our Carl replacement set.
But Carl the Minion and Carl Weezer, they would probably put a damper on. Like they would want to be the acrobat.
Well, of course they would.
I want to be an acrobat.
So yeah. So we also get Vanessa this episode.
Yet another reason I really love this episode.
Vanessa.
I laugh so hard at Doofenshmirtz's take on Vanessa's wardrobe. It's like the boot. It's like a vampire pirate.
Scuba diver.
Yeah.
And she's like,
vampire pilgrim scuba diver.
And she's like, "You think that's what I look like?" Like, you made this boot? I mean, he's kind of off with that, but you can't deny he actually nailed the boot style.
Yep. Okay, so I love this. Vanessa, she breaks up with Johnny.
Yeah.
And she basically, Doofenshmirtz, he's mentoring Rodrigo. And who, by the way,
yeah,
it's not intentional, but just, Rodrigo, a vague similarity to the, oh, God, I'm blanking on his name, because I keep thinking of Josh Mankey. It's not Josh Mankey, it's the one from Soda Drama. The one Ricky Ullman played.
I know him. That's the one who turned out to be a synthodrone.
Yeah, synthoid. Yeah, it's God, I am.
I can't remember his name either.
Crap. This is gutting me right now. Darn it.
So the drama.
I know this. God, it was in there. I don't know if it's with an R, I think.
Eric.
Eric. All right. Anyway, yeah. So Eric,
I just looked it up.
which is even funny when you realize like we just gave him like a Disney prince name.
Yep, and I remember the fact that he was a syntho drone.
Yep.
Created by Draken.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
and then I remember the teaser of the teaser the Disney Channel played for season 4. You know, announcing that season 4 is coming back, and where Ron's nightmare.
Oh God, yes, I remember.
It's like, why would they make that the trailer for season 4?
And ultimately, it was the it was the post credit.
Yeah. Why would they make that the trailer for season 4?
Well, they had to ensure everyone's gonna watch. I thought it was gonna be like the thing we made fun of in Family Guy, the whole that soap opera moment where it was like she woke up from the dream and the guy was in the shower kind of thing. Like, oh my God, this huge milestone. It was all a lie.
Like, but it showed her melting, and it's terrifying.
Well, yeah.
It's like I remember that trailer. I'm like looking back, like, oh my God.
Anyway, I think we're drifting off focus.
Again, yes, I know. Again, we are.
The point being, it looked like Eric from Soda Drama.
Yes, I guess he kind of did.
Aquateds, I could really go for a Nako right now. You know what? Between is it binging with Babbitt or
binging with Babish actually did make a Nako. Twice actually.
Oh, that's great because I wonder if the People versus Food challenge people if they ever did that because they've done foods from all sorts of animated shows. I wonder if they ever got to the Impossible stuff.
Apparently, the first one with Babish didn't actually turn out so well, but he remade it to be more in line with the show.
Let me ask you this: was there crunch to it?
I don't like I said, it's been a while. I think the first one wasn't exactly that way, but I think when you remade it, it was closer to that. Again, I haven't seen that episode in a long time.
Yeah,
but I do remember that he technically like apparently the first one was like poorly received, so he redid it.
Yeah.
I think that Monty's a good addition to Phineas and Ferb. Yes, he is. Dragon, do you have any concerns?
I really do like Monty. You know, I think he's a great addition. I have concerns, of course, for how this will put a ripple in the space time continuum between Vanessa and Ferb.
Yep. So Dragon, I'm sure you're wondering. I'm sure you probably know. Do you think he ever appears again?
Oh no! Don't tell me. Don't. He's got to come back at least once.
Well, Dragon, I have to tell you, he comes back multiple times.
Oh, thank God.
Yes, he does.
Oh man, I wonder, do we kill him off? I mean, why would Vanessa break up with such a perfect guy? You know, she's gonna end up with Ferb. I mean, that's great, but I mean, what happens to Monty now?
Like, well, he appears at least once more this season and a couple times in season 4.
And then we kill him off.
No, that does not happen.
Hey, how do we secure that future there? I mean, he seems perfect in every way. You saw his exit. How could she ever leave this guy?
I don't know, Dragon. And who knows? I might have been lying with the whole Ferb thing.
True.
But you'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah, So what do you think of Rodrigo and Doof basically mentoring him?
I mean, the mentorship thing is fun. You can kind of tell, like, okay, Rodrigo's not going to have the patience
for
Doof. The whole thing, like, no, it's not supposed to be an impossible trap to escape. Just long enough to listen to your evil monologue.
It's like, yeah, Doof basically puts like, well, if it was that easy, everyone would take over the tri-state area. Which is kind of a good explanation as to why no other evil scientists have taken over the tri-state area.
Well, yeah, I mean, also, the other members of all the evil scientists want to take over the world, not the tri-state area, so there's no competition.
Well, there you go. Actually, we don't know about the others that want to take over the tri-state area.
Well, honestly, I think the whole thing is that I like my headcanon is that all the other members of Love Muffin,
yeah,
they have different cities they're trying to take over.
Well, so a lot of them are actually pretty close to the tri-state area, though.
Huh.
It's like, so yeah, but Vanessa seems to be hitting things off with Rodrigo.
Because she likes the bad boys.
You like bad boys. You're evil. Aw.
And we had like the the good evil and bad evil talk.
Like, which makes sense, I guess.
Well, you see, Vanessa, you're gonna have feelings for people who do despicable, unlikable things. Now, you need to know there are two types of evil. You have the good evil
And the bad.
and the bad evil. And that's the difference. No, he's not the bad. That's what you gotta know. There's good evil and there's bad evil, and you'll know it. No, I'm gonna spell it out for you. You'll know it.
And also, it's like putting down when she asked him to put the top down of the building, which is nice.
Yep.
It says like
Again, she's taking down the effigy of Ferb because I've moved on.
and it's like, oh, Dad, you're so cool. It's like, no, still not tattoo. Shoot.
Mm-mm.
It's like,
You know what her tattoo would say?
What?
I love Ferb until Monty showed up. It was gonna be the shadow of Ferb's head inside a big red heart.
Oh.
And then, of course, the thing is, if her father is like, "Wait a minute, who's that? It's your building. Oh, it's good. Okay, good synergy. But I approved this tattoo. I don't know why I was against it. Don't tell your mother."
Oh God. All right. So, what do you think of Doof's plan this episode? Actually,
I was basically using propellers to split the tri-state area in two.
Well, that's what Rodrigo does with it, but basically his plan was to levitate it. Basically,
right.
But Doof's plan was to basically just elevate it, and and basically until they make him their leader. Whereas Rodrigo's was to destroy the tri-state by splitting it in half.
Right.
Which is admittedly a pretty evil plan.
Oh, absolutely. And then that's the scene where he over-animated everything, by the way, where he's like, no, you can't do that. And it's like, oh, okay, we're over-animating a little. Also, very funny. Just Rodrigo is going, a robot hug? What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
And then he tries to get Vanessa to join him. It's like, join him. I don't work for him. He's my dad.
Very funny. I know. I thought we had a moment though.
Then Perry's like, I know what a dip, right?
Yep.
Even Perry's like making judgments.
There's something we should bring back. You remember the dip insult?
Like calling someone a dip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I remember, again, you know what it reminds me of, Jacob?
Oh, like Roger Rabbit?
Well, no. I mean, no, dip was a major plot point in that film, but I was thinking of, calling someone a dip.
Okay, then what's the reference to that you're thinking of?
Freakazoid, episode 1.
All right.
Actually, not episode 1, the pilot. Well, not the pilot, but the origin of Freakazoid. We had, we had Duncan, Dexter, get out of the bathroom, you little dip. I gotta tinkle.
Oh God.
So just call him a little dip and everything. Just
At least Doof become the leader of the Sky State area. Well, there you go.
This is basically a Doofenshmirtz's sloppy version of recreating Up.
Using propellers in the whole city instead of balloons in a house.
Yeah. Well, he had alimony to spend.
Yep. I guess his wife's not dead, just divorced.
Well, she's dead to him.
No, they're actually pretty amicable.
I know it's an amicable divorce. Don't ruin my stupid puns.
All right.
Anyway,
Mister, he's not a animatronic. He's a mech.
Jacob, I have so little to live for. Don't take this from me.
Okay, I'll try my best.
All right. I don't have much.
All right. It's so Monogram and Carl are too busy practicing their acrobatic routine.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when Perry calls them, only Monty sees the fact that the city's in danger.
Yep.
And so he goes to save the day.
Yeah.
Monty only really appears in the beginning and the end of the episode, but he definitely makes an impact. But meanwhile, what about that giant leaf pile?
Yeah, so the boys have kind of fashioned this cool, almost Animal Kingdom kind of like set up here with this with the tree. It's just like like a whole like slide of it's kind of a sliding clubhouse of leaves,
Which is awesome, by the way.
completed with gourd helmets.
I like gourds.
And each gourd styled and fitted to each of their friends' specific needs. It says something about their personalities,
and captures their essence.
even especially Isabella's.
It's like how does this capture my essence? I'm like, oh come on, don't tell me you don't see it. Even Phineas like, yeah, it's like yeah. Even Phineas sees it.
Yeah.
Like it totally captures her essence.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Anyway, Candace tries to kind of squash the leaf pile, so to speak.
but like she thinks it's initially just like them trying to hide what they're doing with the giant leaf pile instead of the leaf pile itself.
I love the gag where Buford is like slips on the gourd, saving her life in the process.
And then she realizes that all they're doing is just eating candy apples and actually joins them.
By the way, Jake, do you know what time it is?
I think I do, Dragon.
It's gritty reboot time.
All right.
All right, so Jacob, picture if you will, Buford didn't make a gourd helmet for Candace, or he didn't get it on her in time.
Oh no!
You saw how hard that slam was.
Yep, definitely some damage done.
What do you think? Do you think think Candace comatose never wakes up? Do you think it's a splat, or do you think it's okay, but there's severe brain trauma?
If I want to say anything, she definitely had to get neck surgery.
Okay.
And probably like it would actually like reduce the size of her neck.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Like,
but an accordion neck.
Yes. But in all seriousness, Dragon, it's hard to say. Like, considering it's entirely made of leaves, it's hard to say. But considering how densely packed they were, that probably could have done some damage. If not definitely hitting the head hard, it would at least result in a lot of cuts. Maybe some major blood loss.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
Well, Jay, neither of us are doctors. We don't know what would happen if you were sliding down all these leaves and you hit a tree at like what Mach 2. Like we don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, she could be right as rain. She could be fine. It could have been 1,000,000 to 1 shot. We don't know. Yeah, but again, let's just say there's another show where every season onward, we pose the question: is Candace having a coma dream? Is she still in the coma?
Or does the entire series take place in purgatory?
Well, of course, I wouldn't go that far with it. I don't want to drag religion into things. Just,
it's the classic like creepypasta kind of thing.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. It's like we shouldn't drag that into things, but it's still like
It's like is everything else like coma-induced dream?
It's like the latter seasons of Archer.
It's just a theory.
And each season's going to be like we're inside Candace's head. It's going to be themed to like a different genre.
Like Dreamland.
Yep. And they're going to space, and then we're
all because they couldn't continue using the agency.
Yeah.
Because of I'm not going to get into it right now because I'll bring it down.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Dave, that was before they. Well, anyway, doesn't matter.
I know, but it didn't help.
No, it didn't.
The funny thing is that Archer actually beat this episode, not this episode, but this series once at the Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Animated Program.
Oh.
So Archer actually beat it the year it was nominated.
Nice.
Yeah. Not so nice for this show, but definitely good for Archer.
And the phrasing gag was always a good runner on Archer.
And I still have yet to actually see Archer, but
Well, it's all on Netflix.
And now retroactively, a Disney show.
Yeah.
Well, owned by Disney anyway. Like Archer's still not going on anymore, is it?
I think it is.
Oh, it is. I thought it ended.
I don't think the new season's premiering. But I'm saying I think it's like I don't think it completely wrapped up.
And technically, it is all on Disney Plus through Hulu, so there's that.
And I think most of it at least is on Netflix. I don't know if it's all there, but like most of it.
Well, on the plus side, I wouldn't get any ads if I watched it on Netflix.
There you go. I mean, it might be up to date for all I know, but it's a large majority of it's on Netflix.
The thing is, I have a plan with my phone bill, and I get Disney Plus I get Disney Plus and ad free, but unfortunately, since it also includes Hulu, unfortunately that does not include the ad free version of Hulu, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we're done with the gritty reboot at this point.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right. So Monty saves the day.
Monty uses like acrobatics and fighting evil at the same time. It was right before me.
One could say Monogram is proud of his boy.
He's
proud of his
boy. That's my boy.
Would make him prouder.
And what would that be?
And he did it with a mustache.
And unfortunately, Monty does not have a mustache yet.
He's facial hair challenged.
Who knows? He's still young.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe he will get a mustache like his old man.
Possibly.
So he beats Rodrigo using his acrobatics and wins the heart of Vanessa in the process.
Perry realizes, oh no, what have I done?
She's like, maybe I have had enough of bad boys. Maybe I should try a good guy. And he turns around, gives her a smile, and flies off.
And then Perry thinks, oh no, she's fallen in love with me, but I'm a platypus. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not adventurous enough for that. I just wear a hat.
We're sorry, Olivia.
No, come on.
It's warranted, Dragon. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that does it for this week.
Olivia Olsen has better things to do than listen to us.
Like writing the new season of the show.
Well, I mean, it's one thing she could be doing. I mean, she could also be doing like literally anything else. But
Yeah. Like, hey, I told her about us.
I appreciate that, but I don't know.
I said I don't think it's borne any fruit, but
yeah.
I said one of these days.
Olivia, if you're watching, comment and say hello.
Yes, please. But seriously, like if I could get like just one of the people that worked on the show to be on this, I would be extremely happy.
Yep.
But I know everyone involved in that show is extremely busy, and Polly doesn't have time to do that with us.
Let's be honest, Swampy has time. He just doesn't want to come on.
No, we don't know that. I mean, he works on others. I think he does other stuff just besides this show, Dragon.
Yeah.
And Dan's currently working on 2 shows at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Dan, we know for a fact is busy. Swampy, though, he's just, he's coasting a little bit. It's like, the show's back. Everything's going great. I'm Swampy Marsh, man. I'm just leaning back. Look at me. Yeah. My kids are going to eat tonight. This is good.
And his grandkids, too.
Yeah. Look at Poppy bring the paycheck, grandkitties. Look at this.
Look at this Disney money I got.
Look at all this Disney money. Yeah, let me use it to kind of like plow through this marsh here. Look at this. So you hear that? You hear that name mentioned last episode? That was Grampy. That was Grampy getting his way. That was Grampy being paid tribute to. That's what you can achieve in this business.
Well, the funny thing is to hear the same exact phrase next week too.
Oh goody.
Yep. All right. So, final thoughts then, I guess.
Look, it's a much more solid week than last week.
Yeah, I mean, last week's were all right, I guess. I mean, Verb TV was fun.
Yeah, it was just fun, but not good.
And what a croc! I had good moments in it too.
Yeah.
Giant croc.
One game we stepped it up in a big way.
Yep, we get to meet Monty Monogram.
Yeah.
And I even had I was like, you know what I'm gonna say, right? I was like, he's not gonna appear again, right?
Yeah.
I got you early. I was like, well, Dragon, he's only gonna appear again. So
there you go.
So I'm sure you're probably glad to hear that, considering the reputation this show has of introducing seemingly major characters than never having them come on again.
Yep.
But I mean, he's not like a major character in any means, but he only makes a couple more appearances. But we do see him quite a bit more. And in all the episodes he's in, he's a pretty major player. So there is that.
All right.
One more mention of Carl the Robot. It was great to see they got Harlan Williams back to voice Carl in Once Upon a Studio. Is he hard to get by, or is he like retired or something? I mean, Dragon, do you know?
Wait. Throw the comment back up there.
One more mentioning of Carl the Robot. It was great to see that they got Harlan Williams back to voice Carl in Once Upon a Studio.
Well, I don't know if that was archived or if they actually got him back, but I mean, it sounds like they got him back. I mean, I'm not sure why it'd be hard to get him back.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's retired. I guess I don't know.
Possibly. I don't know. I never looked into it.
Me neither. Well, anyways, thank you, Little Blue, Aquatad, Godias, for joining us this evening. And be sure to join us on the next episode, where Major Monogram, for a two-parter, where Major Monogram gets sick. Good night, everybody.